Have you wondered how a real estate investor makes money owning an apartment building? Well, in this video, I'm walking you through all the different revenue streams and how you make the really big bucks, all in multifamily real estate. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss more videos about building wealth through multifamily real estate. I'm Seth Ferguson. Let's get right into it and talk about making money with multifamily. To start off, we have to talk about revenue, our gross revenue, gross income coming into the property. So let's say we have our property right here. All right, it could be a low rise, mid rise, high rise, you name it. But there are so many, it's like the spokes of a wheel. There are so many different revenue streams that are generated by this property. Now, obviously, the biggest one is your rents, your gross rents, right? You are charging your residents, your tenants, to live in the apartment building or the property, right? And the rents are going to be the biggest driver for your gross income. But there are so many other things that we can add in here. And this is where being creative as a real estate investor and bringing in new revenue streams, it's going to pay dividends down the road. I'm going to show you all about that once we finish up with our revenue streams here. In addition to rents, you can charge fees. Now, the fees you can charge will depend on your city or your province, your state, all the local rules. You always have to be compliant. But with fees, you will have so many options at your disposal. There is a pet fee. So if somebody wants to have a pet in the unit, you can charge a fee for that as security against the damage and any eventualities with the pet fee, the extra wear and tear. You also have application fees. So if somebody wants to apply to live at your property, you can have a fee to actually apply and submit their application. You can have a pest fee. So depending on your area, you may charge an annual fee or monthly fee to cover pest control. And then a late payment fee. So you want to incentivize people to pay on time. So a late fee, if you're late with your rent, there would be an additional fee levied at that point, and this could be a revenue generator as well. So all of these go into your gross revenue. In addition to your rent and your fees, you also have value-add services that you can provide. So maybe it's a valet trash pickup. So instead of having to carry your garbage bag all the way down to the spot, you just leave it outside your door and the staff will actually pick it up and drop it off for you. If you're busy, if you got lots of kids, perfect. You can also have premium parking. So you can charge extra for the very best parking spots. Maybe it's covered, so either A, you don't have to brush off your car with snow, or B, your car's not baking in the ridiculous heat, depending on where you are in the country. So you've got valet trash pickup, premium parking. You can also have private yards. So maybe if, depending on how your property is laid out, you can have private fenced yards, and that's an upgrade. So you're charging an additional fee for that. You may be charging a fee for washers and dryers. That could be an option. There's also self-storage. So depending on how your property is laid out, maybe you have an unused basement, maybe you have an unused building on site, you can turn that into self-storage units. So you have your multifamily rents coming in, but you also have your self-storage income, and that's going to provide an additional service for your tenants so they don't have to go off-site for storage facilities. They can do it all at your property, and that's a great revenue stream. And then there's also coin laundry. Well, nobody's really using the coins anymore. It's all card-based, but you have your laundry services. That's another revenue generator. You can go on and on and on. Wi-Fi, you could charge extra for Wi-Fi. That's a value-add service. So all of these different revenue generators, rents, fees, valet trash, premium parking, all these value-add services, they all go into your gross revenue. And gross revenue is only one part of the equation, right? So this is the revenue coming in, but we also have our operating expenses. While we definitely want to push and drive up our gross revenue, the rents and all the different income streams we have, we want to optimize the expenses we have running the property. Maybe that's improving the marketing of the property. So we're generating better quality leads and renting our units faster so there's less downtime. Maybe it's making a staff change to get better staff who can lease out units faster. Can you optimize expenses like insurance? Maybe it's been a couple years since you got the insurance policy. Maybe you inherited an old one from the previous owner, and now you can put that bid out to the market, and maybe you can save some money on your insurance costs. Utilities are a big one. Maybe you can install high efficiency water saving faucets, light bulbs, you name it. If you're paying for the utilities. That's going to save you a ton of money. But then you can also bill back the utilities to the tenants and totally offload that expense to the people actually using the utilities. And that's going to make them a lot more diligent in what they actually use, because they're responsible for their own usage. We could go on and on and on about our operating expenses, but it's really important to have the two sides of the equation. You want to drive your revenue, optimize or reduce your expenses because of the way multifamily real estate is valued. Before we get to the valuation side, we have to figure out what's called our NOI. So we have our gross revenue or gross income, which we talked about, and then we have to subtract our operating expenses, and that's going to give us something called NOI, net operating income. This is really, really important because multifamily real estate, its value is derived from the NOI, and the formula looks like this. So value equals NOI divided by cap rate. And I'll put a link up here to a video I did explaining more about the income approach, and just click on that and I'll walk you through exactly what all this stuff means. But really, in a nutshell, what this formula does is it puts control into the owner's hand. So sure, we're making the cash flow, the monthly cash flow with the rents and our other income streams, but the true value of owning multifamily real estate, the big bucks comes from working this equation in our favor. The more we can drive up our gross income and optimize or decrease our operating expenses will increase our NOI. And what that does is it increases the value of the asset. You have so much more control of the asset's valuation as opposed to residential real estate, because that is valued using what's called the comparable approach. Very, very, very different. Very different. So you as the owner of an apartment building can control how fast you implement changes in terms of your revenue streams, how fast you adopt new streams, how fast you raise rents, how you actually optimize the expenses. You can do it quickly. You can stretch it over a long time. You are in so much more control of your NOI and in turn the value of your asset. So that is how you actually make money owning an apartment building. You've got your revenue, you've got your expenses, and then you've got the value of the property using what's called the income approach. So if you like this video, if you found this useful, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. Leave a comment too. Let me know what you think. And until next time, happy investing.